Good morning, pedal people. I look like I have a sash on. That's kind of a weird design for a t-shirt, isn't it? A sash. I look like Worf. You know, Worf? Next Gen? Yeah, you should be old enough to know that. And if not, watch it! Oh. Coconut cream from Coffee Mate, which in Germany you can only get if you're dating someone who's related to an American, which is the only reason I date Leslie, really. Because her dad's a veteran, and he can go to the American supermarket in Wiesbaden and get me Coffee Mate creamer. That's really the only reason why I date the girl. She's also pretty and nice, but the creamer primarily. Oh. Any Americans out there who want a shout out in my videos, put some more powder. You can't get the liquid stuff, but put some powder creamer in a box and send it my way. You'd be my new best friend. That stuff is powdered or liquid. Gold. Golden stuff and cool stuff should be in this box. Not gold, but cool and awesome and high quality. Neunaber, not Neunaber. Apparently they say Neunaber, but it's not a Neunaber, it's Neunaber, that's German. And I refuse to say it wrong. Neunaber, Neunaber. I met those guys at the NAMM show because my new friend Sean Pierce Johnson, please check out his YouTube channel, Stompbox Saturdays. Really cool show. The guy knows how to demo pedals, and he needs subs, so subscribe to his channel, please. Sean wrote me ahead of the NAMM show, said, let's make a date, come over to the booth and check out this stuff. He's their demo guy, or was their demo guy. He's no longer with them. Who knows what happened there? We're not gonna ask. But they sent me stuff now. So Brian from Neunaber sent me bubble wrap, which is always nice, because you can pop it. This is nicely packed. First of all, I get a shitload of packages during the week. This is good stuff. I mean, come on. Tightly, neatly packed. They care about their products. So, I mean, I know it's stupid. Why does he mention how nicely packed the package is? Because there's stuff flying around. Because a company that does this, okay, that is so frickin' anal about the packaging, is frickin' anal about everything. The design of their logo, the build quality of the pedals, every algorithm, everything has to be perfect. If a box is this perfect, if this is the standard of packing, I draw conclusions from that, and so should you. No, because a boss that makes their people pack shit like this makes them make good pedals. So, and we have 4 in here. Maybe. Let's look at box number 1. Well, it is gold. I said, you're gonna see gold? There's gold. Right there. Gold. Let me drink. But not sipping and slurping because I've been called out about that. Gotta learn how to drink coffee quietly now. So, very nice. Simple sophistication. Hey, that's the design. That's what it says. Whoa. Well, this is neat. Okay, let me repeat that. So you have the box, and then you open it, and then you go, whoa. Because that is nice presentation. And just the idea, this is a toy. Because you know what it is? These things are toys. We don't need them, we don't eat them, we don't wear them. They're not necessary, but we love them. So this is it's made in USA. 100 milliamps. Woohoo! That is way cool, not eating up the big milliamp hours on my power supplies. So what we have here is failure to communicate. Guns N' Roses. Come on. So what this is the Slate. If I'm correct, it doesn't say this. Does it say it? No, does it? No, I think it's called the Slate. Which is simply just a blank slate. This pedal can be any Neunaber pedal. Neunaber. Stereo in, stereo out, super simple. A network Cat5, I guess, connection to connect things, which we're going to get into. Power. And is it mini or micro? I think it's micro USB, which is neat. Very, very subtle. You barely see it right there. And it's a freaking pedal with 3 knobs. I mean, how much easier does it, and how much simpler does it get? Switch. Soft switch. Maybe you can hold it in for stuff. Who knows? And then 3 knobs. But those 3 knobs could literally, I think, be anything. This thing can be a reverb. It can be a delay. I think it can be a chorus. It can be any Neunaber pedal. As any other Neunaber pedal, I think, why am I saying it? Neunaber, can actually be any other Neunaber pedal. Please don't nail me. This is how I remember it from the NAMM show. You can change the pedals into different effects if you wanted to. So we have a little sticker. Ooh. A very nice, not too short, micro USB cable. Quick start. Advanced setup. And effect guide. Now this is neat. Nice instructions. Nice presentation without going overboard. So I'm thinking. Get it? I'm thinking. Come on, it's from Night at the Museum? I think so, yeah. 2. No, 1? I'm not sure. Where was I? I think you have to connect this with an editor on the computer. Same box. Yeah, it says it right here what it does. I'm gonna get into that box in a bit. This is the new reverb. This deviates from the previous line in the sense that the previous line was very simple and had 3 knobs. This has 5 knobs, but such a cool control matrix. Okay? So it's very cool. You can actually see, how did that work again? There are lines coming from the middle switch. The middle switch controls what reverb you have. So if I go to my echo, reverb, I guess, then you just follow the line over to see what this knob does. And it really works. On shimmer, there's shimmer A and shimmer B. So there's 2 lines intersecting going to shimmer, shimmer A, shimmer B. And on shimmer, it does the shim level. This, on the tiniest bit of real estate on the pedal, actually illustrates, without a manual, you don't have to remember, because you never remember, be honest, you never remember what these multifunction knobs do. So you can actually control what this does. Then you got tone, FX level, and depth. Very neat. Ooh. This doesn't have USB, this is all in one box, but how neat is that? 2 very, very subtle, you can absolutely not see them. They will never bug you. Switches, because they're very likely set and forget switches. One of them is a kill dry switch. If you have this in a parallel effects loop and you're actually dialing in your dry signal on the amp, it will kill your dry signal. And one is trails, which will probably switch this from a, I don't know, maybe a buffered bypass to a true bypass, I don't know. But turn trails on and off, so when you turn it off, the reverb trail still goes on. No menus, no nothing, set it right there. A small pedal about the size of a Hall of Fame. from what I heard at NAMM, it has its own reverberation characteristic, and I'm very curious to check it out. In the box, same thing, but of course without a USB cable because it doesn't need USB. This is the odd one out, or the new one out. And apparently we're doing Neunaber reverbs, well, plus the Slate. Here we have the wet. The pedals come in mono. I think they might be cheaper, I don't know. Most of us don't need stereo. So there's the wet mono and there's a wet stereo. This is the stereo because I can make a little stereo setup if I wanted to. Actually, working with the Torpedo Studio is killer, because what I can do is take any effects sent from an amp, any amp I want, any amp characteristic I want, put it in the pedal from the effects sent from the amp, but then not return it into the amp because then I can only do mono. I can actually return it stereo into the line inputs on the Torpedo Studio, and then the Torpedo Studio will give me the power amp simulation and the cab simulation. So for a stereo setup, that's as easy as pie, which is rhubarb. I don't know. Is that saying? Does that saying mean easy as making a pie, or easy as pie 3.14? Blah blah blah. What does that saying mean? I don't know. So here's the thing. This pedal, ooh, kind of really nice on top. Swooshy kind of a, it's cool. So it's actually, I don't know, actually, I need more of this. Well, I'm sorry. This is actually the same as the Slate, different graphic. And preloaded with the reverb. The Slate can also be the reverb, but I think this can also be the chorus. So if you have, this is your reverb, bam! And this is your delay, bam! But you could change them to this being the chorus and this being the delay. I'm back. I was someone on the phone, obviously. So, these two could be anything you desire, which is cool. Now, how to control it, how to set them up. With USB, obviously, you can tell them what they're supposed to be with USB, but then there's also these, I don't remember. There's also, of course, USB cable in here. I really like the packaging. I like a good package. Insert sexual joke here. So here is another not a toy, which is the EXP, which could be expression, it could be expander, it could be, no, that's extrasensory sensory perception is ESP. I don't know. ESPN? EXP? I don't know. So this thing does stuff. Expression inputs. Preset morph. It actually has something to do with expression. Yes, please. So I actually think this is meant to go into, I'm thinking, one pedal. So these two together, or these two together. I could be completely wrong. It says two pedal, so there's an Cat 5e kind of output. Excuse me, I'm talking. Leslie went on a long walk with X, and Bruno's like, me, where's mommy, me? So you can actually have 3 expression pedals in here to go to different parameters, maybe. You can definitely morph between 2 presets. I saw that because this thing has different presets indicated by color of the LED, which you can switch with these. And that means with this can be anything you want. It's a kind of Eventide H9-ish. It can be one thing at a time, but it can be different things. Now, the coolest thing is with that expression morph, you can actually expression pedal and morph between 2 different presets. Very cool. So how this all works, I don't know. I know it's really relatively small. That's what she said. Thanks, Carl Francis, for posting the "That's What She Said" pedal. There's actually a pedal with, it has like a sticker on it that says "That's What She Said." But I think I should get a signature pedal from someone, and it should be called "That's What She Said." Why not? Or the coffee pedal. You know, with like a coffee stain on it. Why not? Like the real book. So, but I digress. This could be a really cool setup for a pedal board where you might need that effect, or sometimes that effect, or sometimes a different effect. Paired with that reverb, or preferably paired with that reverb. Or I'm gonna make this my delay. This can be anything it wants to be. And then I have this as my reverb. And then... Too bad. See, when you want to put these together... Go away! You could actually get them together really closely. Let me show you. Source Audio, whose concept is similar, which probably Neunaber doesn't want me to say, or Source Audio doesn't want me to say, but you know what, I don't work for these guys, I work for you. So they have a similar concept. They sent me these connectors. So you could actually get your pedals fairly close to each other. And that's pretty cool. But on the Immerse, for technical reasons, they're not at the same height. Also, the Immerse is not the same height. So it is a different chassis. No, the plugs are at a different height. It's not a different chassis, but the plugs are actually at a different height. That's not a deal breaker in any way. I'm just pointing it out, guys, okay? I mean, you can just use normal cables and you're good. But it would have been so cool to have like a nice row where they're all pluggy. Just saying. But this is very clearly a different kind of beast with different innards and guts, so they had to move some things around. No biggie. But you know I'm the bitch master. I bitch about every tiny detail. Because that's how we roll here. Now, I do other stuff. And these will come. When they come, shut your trap. It's gonna take a while. I have other stuff to do before that. And on a different note, next week, possibly, we're gonna get some Engel in here. In addition to the Gigmaster that I already have, we're gonna look at the Rockmaster and Metalmaster 20 before the 40s come at some point, but we're gonna look at nice little Engel amps with power soaks. Whenever they're here. See you guys. Thanks Neunaber. Thanks Brian for sending these over. Thanks Sean for introducing us. I'll see what they can do. Bye bye.